Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen, welcome back to Sunday morning and the old cookbook show. Today we're going to do a recipe from a cookbook that I don't use that often. It is very fragile. This is a second edition printing of Cookery and Pastry as taught and practiced by Mrs. McIver, teacher of those arts in Edinburgh. This was published in 1777, if I'm interpreting the letters at the bottom correctly. First published, I believe, in 1773. At least the foreword in this one is dated 1773. Now, I was looking through it for a different type of recipe. And I came across one and I said, oh, I'm going to be doing a rib roast on the smoker next week. Let's do this one. We'll put the two recipes together. So we're going to make a common potato pudding to be fired below roasted meat. Now, in this time period, you would more than likely be cooking in an open hearth, fireplace type apparatus. Roast would be on a spit in front of the fire, and they would put all kinds of different vegetables in roasting pans or in pans underneath. Different types of puddings, Yorkshire pudding, for example, and it would cook under the meat. The drippings from the meat would fall into the pan below with the vegetables, which is essentially what this is. It's a potato dish that you cook under the meat on the heat. And it's written very much in the way that recipes were written in the 1700s. It's vague. It's a little bit out of order. It tells you to do a bunch of things, and then it tells you to put it on the fire, and then it says, oh, by the way, if you put 3 eggs in it, that'd be great too. So what I've got here are potatoes. I've cooked them, boiled them in water, just a little bit of salted water. That's it. Recipe tells me that I should peel them. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can't peel potatoes. I'm supposed to put in a good piece of butter. I say that's a good piece of butter. And we'll mash that in. The butter will melt with the potatoes. And then some sweet milk. And we all know that sweet milk is just milk, just regular milk. It's just milk that isn't sour. It is not sweetened milk. Now, I'm supposed to salt and spice it. Cooked it in salted water to begin with, but a little bit of salt's not going to hurt. I'm going to put in a little bit of black pepper. And for other spicing, I know it's not a spice. Stop typing. I know it's not a spice. It's actually a root vegetable, and it's pickled. I'm going to put in horseradish because I love mashed potatoes with horseradish. So I'm going to put a good scoop, maybe a good scoop and a half. We'll mash that in. Now it tells me to put it in a dish, stick it under the roast. Then it says, but you know what? If you cast 3 eggs and mix them in, it makes a nice light dish. So we will cast 3 eggs, which simply means beat 3 eggs. So into a little jug, 3 eggs. And just with a fork, we'll just cast those eggs in. It also says some choose to put in an onion. I, too, choose to put in an onion. And we'll just mix all of that together. Final stir. Got a cast iron frying pan. Could be cast iron, could be clay, could be anything that you're willing to put on your barbecue or smoker underneath the meat. I mean, you don't have to do this outside on your barbecue or smoker. You could just do this in the oven. And instead of putting your roast on a roasting pan or in a roasting pan, just sit it on the rack. I've done this with chicken, and it's really good. Sit the meat on the rack, and then directly below it, put your pan. And the pan just catches all of the drippings, and it bakes along with it. It's really good. So, out to the smoker we go. And here we go. The roast is already underway. Put the pan directly under it. let everything drip into the potatoes, and let it continue to cook. Okay, so if you were here yesterday for the smoked rib roast, you will have known that we were making this, the potato pudding. What is it actually called?
Oh, you didn't. That's not its name.
Well, it is kind of. It is.
I feel like it might be a spoon versus a fork, but it's hard to tell.
A common potato pudding to be fired below roasted meat,
There you go.
which it is.
So you cooked it underneath the roast?
Yep.
So I would expect more drippings. What happened here?
The roast only dripped in that one spot. So I would stir it in. I think I'd stir it in.
Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, yes.
Or
Yeah, stir it in. Stir it in, Jules.
I don't know if this is the correct stirring spoon.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
that's probably good.
Okay, I'll do that for now. Okay, here we go. All right, I feel like I ruined the crusty top because I kind of like the crusty top, but there we go. Spoon for you. That's actually, I don't know how to describe the flavor, but it is a lovely flavor.
Yeah.
And it'll go well with the meat, some broccoli. I'm good.
I mean, nothing has changed really too much in the cooking of mashed potatoes.
No, but it's got a different flavor though. It's not like the buttered. There's clearly more flavor in there than
Yeah, so
standard potatoes.
it's the smoking because you're cooking it over a fire. Like it was meant to be cooked over a fire. It was cooked under the roast, and so like it was meant, and so you've got all of those flavors going on. That's really good. I put that on at the same time as the roast, from the very beginning of the roasting.
You probably do it a little later.
Do it a little bit later.
Yeah.
Definitely do it a little bit later. Maybe just put a pan under the roast to catch the first amount of drippings and then pour them on top. Yeah, because it doesn't need to go for the whole cooking.
No.
Anyway,
Goes together though.
great recipe from the 1770s. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.